Hi Scrapbookers, this is Megan, and I am here with a fun little challenge that I got from Scrap from Scratch, and she is having a little birthday challenge. And so I'm going to use this paper line called On the Bright Side, and there's the name of the YouTube channel and then the date that it's due, the video is due by, and the information you need. I will put a link down below for her channel. But basically, she wanted you to use the color yellow on your layout, stars, and banners. And that's for the scrapbook, the 12 by 12 scrapbooking page. She also has a card challenge and a Project Life challenge, which I believe I am going to do the card challenge as well. But I was just really excited. I just wanted to scrapbook this night, and it had been a while since I had scrapbooked. So I decided to scrapbook this picture of my nephew, and this was way back in 2009. So I am just using this 8.5 by 11 yellow, I'm not even sure what you call those, wheels or something like. And this is the layout that I got my inspiration from. I really loved the gray and the yellow colors. And when she said that the colors, she wanted us to use yellow, I knew that I was going to scrap lift this layout. So I pulled out, the paper is more of a bluish, it kind of looks more blue than gray, but I still really like the way it looks with the yellow. So I'm going to mat this photo on that blue, dark blue paper. And here I'm thinking I'm going to do the title right underneath the photo because I left a little bit of space there. And right now I'm going through my stamps, and I pulled out that first one was an alpha that I got at a, like on sale at, or not on sale, but at a thrift store. And I was thinking that the title could be "Oh Boy" or something like that. But then I found this Heidi Swap stamp set, and there was one on there that said "Smile." And so I thought, oh, that's perfect because he's just got such a cute smile. So I pulled that out, and I'm going to use that. And I'm also pulling out some of these wood veneers. I was looking for stars, but I found, and these are from Stampin' Up. Sorry that the camera didn't focus. But those are from Stampin' Up, and I like the banner, so I decided to use that, especially since using banners was one of the challenge. So I'm going to make 3 banners. 2 of them are going to be out of kind of a brownish, grayish pattern paper from the collection, and then 1 is going to be from just a white piece of paper. And what I'm thinking right now is that I can use the word "smile" and put it across all 3 of the banners like that at the bottom. And then I'm like, well, maybe I want to do it sideways and only have it the words "smile" stamped on the white paper, but I didn't really like how that looked, and so I decided to go ahead and just use those 3 banner pieces. Now I'm going to glue down the picture, and here I'm just measuring out how big the stamp is, and it's a little bit too small, or the stamp is a little bit too big. So I cut out another white banner, and I'm going to put it right there. It takes me a little bit to kind of get them all situated, and then I'm going to just stick them under the picture, and I really like how that turned out. So now I'm going to pull out my black classic Stampin' Pad from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to stamp right across the 4 banners. And I really love how that turned out. I used a little bit too much of that stamp spray, but it cleaned it really well, so that was good. Okay, so now I am going to glue down the the banners just to make sure they stay. And now I'm thinking about what else I want to put on the layering, like what other papers I want to use to layer. Sorry about that. And I decided to cut down that wood grain paper. And then I'm going to cut this yellow polka dot. So now I'm just trying to position the yellow polka dot paper and figure out where I want the picture to go. And I pulled out this kind of beige-ish polka dot paper that has some polka dots a little bit more spread apart than the yellow paper. And now I'm going to start putting all of these layers down. I hear some banging upstairs, and my kids are supposed to be in bed, so it makes me a little bit nervous. Okay, then I had this chevron paper, and I really liked it, and I wanted to include it. I just wasn't really sure how to include it, and then I figured I could do it as a border. So I am going to fussy cut this zigzag chevron pattern, and I'm going to put it at the top left-hand side. Then I'm thinking that the little off-whitish areas look kind of funky, so I'm going to cut all those out. And it doesn't really matter at the end because you can't see them anyway. So I was thinking I would do it along that length, but then I'm like, no, I don't really like that. And so I push it over towards the edge more. And now I'm looking in my right-hand drawer for some pieces that I could layer, over that area so that it didn't look so funny. You didn't have these weird angles and things. I'm going to decide to put the banner there, that wood veneer banner. And I had this tag that I made myself, and I'm just kind of fiddling with it, trying to figure out if I really want to use it or not. And I do actually end up using it. I had some of this, what is it, paper, it's tissue paper. I think it came in a kit or something, and I saved it because I thought it looked really nice. And so here I'm going to try to rip it, but it kind of like messes up. It doesn't rip very clean. So I'm going to end up not using that because I don't really like the way it looks. Like I wanted it to look ripped, but not like that, not jagged. I wanted it to be clean. So I pulled out some star wood veneers because she also wanted us to use stars. I'm going to glue down the chevron strip, and then I'm going to spray the banner, that wood veneer banner. Oh, I guess I'm going to pull out some of these enamel dots. These are new enamel dots. I just made these a couple days ago because I don't have any blue or teal or turquoise or anything like that, or dark blue in the big enamel dots. And so I decided to buy some pony beads that were big and that had blues in them. So I just bought an assorted pack. And so I'm pulling out blue, white, and then one gold. A couple of blues, and then white and gold. And that is pretty much how the layout is going to stay, except for the tissue paper. I'm going to move that. So I pull out my mists, and I'm going to use the white from Heidi Swap and also Tencel from Heidi Swap. I'm going to spray this wood veneer, and it doesn't soak up very well. I don't really spray wood veneers a lot. I think I've done the star ones before. But yeah, they just didn't soak up very well, and so I end up kind of wiping it off. And I like the way it looks in the end, so I'm glad I did it. But you can kind of not even really tell, at least in the movie. I also had some of these chevron strips that are wood veneer, and I didn't want to waste all of that gray spray that I had left over on that piece of paper, so I dipped another chevron strip in it, and then also another shape, a banner shape. And I'm going to use those 2 chevron strips down there on the bottom. It kind of gave that area a little bit more interest. And now I'm going to glue down all of the enamel dots. And I am using glue dots. I believe that's what they are. And I just got them at Michael's. And now I'm thinking that I want to mat this tag and then have my journaling be on the tag. And so I'm going to use this wood grain paper and glue down the chevron strips. I really like those chevron strips. I pull them out like not even really thinking about it, and it just totally worked out. So that was fun. I am going to use this Tempting Turquoise Stampin' Up! Pad, and I'm going to ink the edges of that white tag just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more against that wood grain. And then I'm going to glue it to the wood grain paper and cut it down to fit. And I kept just playing around with those 2 enamel dots because I just felt like they were weird. And then I realized, oh, I could put, you know, a piece of twine there, and then the enamel dots would look better. So I did that. I'm also going to glue that down, and I'm going to put enamel dots, or not enamel dots, sorry, twine up in the left-hand corner by that banner, the wood veneer banner, as well as the enamel dots, and then one down there in the corner by Smile, by the picture. And so I had a hard time having this banner stick down. At first I used the glue, the liquid glue, the Aqua Liquid Tombow Mono Glue, and that didn't work. It kept coming up. And so I was trying to stick these down because I figured that these glue dots would be really sticky and make it stick, but they didn't actually want to stick to them. So I had to pull it off of the sheet and then put it on top of on the bottom. And that seems to work now. I might want to hot glue it down or something, but we'll see. Then I'm also going to use the glue dots for these stars. And I'm going to kind of play around with these. I'm trying to make it so that you won't be able to see the glue dot, so I'm stretching it. That's what I'm doing as I'm putting it on there. Stretching the glue dot over the star pieces. And I didn't spray those. I decided to just leave them the wood veneer color. And I really like how that looks. I had this little plastic star piece that came from a template. It was the positive or negative, like the inside part of it. I don't know if you call that the positive or the negative. And so I thought I could use it as a template and just get the inside or the outside around it to look like a star, but it didn't work out very well. So I pulled it up, and I mean, you can kind of see that it's a star, the very bottom one, but not really. So then I put it down there on the bottom thinking I'm going to do the same thing, and it definitely doesn't work down there. So that was kind of a silly move on my part, but oh well, you live and you learn. Now I'm using the Heidi Swap Color Shine, the white, And I don't think I shook it up enough the first time because it wasn't showing up. The white, it was like turning clear and soaking into the paper. And there you can see that it's actually white and that it's not soaking into the paper. So I think that it was that I just didn't shake it enough, because after I did a couple spots that were soaking into the paper, I shook it again really hard and it seemed to work. So I think I am going to do my journaling now. Yep, there I am pulling out some pens. And I end up using that gray Chamel pen. I really love Chamel's pens, the journaling pens that she had with her collection. I'm really glad I bought them. They're just really nice and fine and easy to write with. Whereas those other like Zig Writer markers, I have a lot of those, and those are not easy to write with at all. So that kind of bums me out that I spent so much money on those and then can't use them. So I'm just writing about my nephew, how he's a handsome boy and he's growing up so fast. And that is going to be near the end of the layout. I think I'm just going to show you some close-ups here in a minute. I keep rubbing underneath my layout because I'm afraid that the spray paint, the mist that I sprayed, is getting my desk all like dirty and wet, and that would not be good. Oh, I forgot that I did this part. Okay, so I started to put 2014 up there, but then I was like, oh, wait a minute, this picture was taken in 2009. But I only had 10, so I couldn't actually end up using those circle numbers. That number sheet or sticker sheet came in my December Daily kit, the kit that I use for December Daily. So here I am off looking for the perfect numbers to use, and it took me a little while to find ones that I was happy with, but I finally found some. Oh, nope, I haven't found them yet. Sorry, I forgot I looked at the stamps. I got those alphabet lowercase stamps. I think I got those from, oh, that Plum website. Now I can't even think of it. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. And then I use these daily flash numbers. I put them on some wax paper just to make sure that they would fit and that I would know where to place them, because I wanted it to be centered. So I'm going to finish putting those numbers on that banner wood veneer. And then after that, I am going to put down the rest of the twine. There are two areas up by that banner in the left-hand corner, and then also down by the title with the enamel dots down there. And I already had a piece that had a knot in it, and so I'm just going to use that piece, and I'm going to use some glue dots to keep it down with, and that works really well. I hope it will stand through the test of time, but I really like that. And so I'm going to put one right there too, and I was gluing down the enamel dot to make sure that it stayed, because it was kind of coming up a little bit. But here are some close-ups. Oh, and I had to turn on the autofocus, so that's why I set it down. But thanks so much for watching, and thanks again, Sarah, for this great challenge. Bye.